The governor of New York just took a torch to Donald Trump, and Washington is waiting with bated breath to see what happens next. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. One thing about Trump voters, they never seem to understand how hated he is in his native New York, and they've never stopped to ask why. Of course, voters who love how Trump owns the libs might see the way New Yorkers loathe him as some kind of dubious badge of honor, but that's a superficial assessment. Those people never seem to consider that New Yorkers have good reason to hate Trump, from the way he flaunts his breaking of the law to the way he forgets to pay his employees. One New Yorker who doesn't hate Trump, at least not right now, Mayor Eric Adams. Adams, a Democrat who used to be a Republican, has come under major fire for corruption issues in the past year. In 2024, the Biden administration indicted Adams over corruption issues. Specifically, the FBI discovered that Adams took more than $100,000 from Turkish officials in the form of airfare and luxury trips. Adams even bragged about how he took trips to Turkey during his 2022 mayoral run and that he had met President Erdogan. Adams' relationship with Turkey raised suspicions, and for good reason. Then, last September, the Justice Department dropped the hammer. Take a look.
As the indictment alleges, Mayor Adams engaged in a long-running conspiracy in which he solicited and knowingly accepted illegal campaign contributions from foreign donors and corporations. As we allege, Mayor Adams took these contributions even though he knew they were illegal, and even though he knew these contributions were attempts by a Turkish government official and Turkish businessmen to buy influence with him. We also allege that the mayor sought and accepted well over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits from some of the same foreign actors who arranged many of the illegal campaign contributions. These benefits included free international business class flights and opulent hotel rooms in foreign cities. The mayor had a duty to disclose these gifts on his annual public disclosure forms so that the public could see who was giving him what. But as we allege, year after year after year, he kept the public in the dark. He told the public he received no gifts, even though he was secretly being showered with them.
Following Adams' indictment, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who assumed the position after Andrew Cuomo resigned under sexual misconduct charges — apparently they do love a good indictment in New York — Governor Hochul openly criticized Adams, but stopped short of removing him from office pending further investigation and a trial. New York law gives the governor unilateral power to remove the mayor of New York City. Keep that in mind for what's coming later in this report. Other New York politicians, however, called on Adams to resign immediately. That includes Representative Jerry Nadler and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But you know who came rushing to defend Adams? Donald Trump. Trump said he thought Adams was treated unfairly by the Justice Department, though he confessed he knew little about the case. The two even had a date night at Mar-a-Lago before Trump took office in 2025. Needless to say, the meeting raised eyebrows, especially when Trump said he was considering a pardon of Adams. Then, last week, all hell broke loose.
Breaking news in our Law and Justice lead. We just told you about multiple high-level resignations at the Justice Department and the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office, all of them apparently prompted by the Trump administration's order for a New York court to drop the corruption case against New York Mayor Eric Adams. And now CNN has just obtained two letters. One is the resignation letter from the acting U.S. Attorney in New York. The other is the response she got from Trump's Deputy Attorney General, Emile Beauvais.
At the time of this report, 7 Justice Department officials have resigned over the dismissal of Adams' charges. Needless to say, this only further reinforces the image of the Trump Department of Justice as an instrument of corruption and revenge. Trump wants Adams empowered to aid with his Gestapo-like raids on immigrants. Last week, Emile Beauvais ordered the charges dropped, though a judge still must sign off on the dismissal. U.S. District Judge Dale Ho has requested Adams appear in court tomorrow, that's Wednesday, for a ruling. At the time of this report, it remains unclear whether Judge Ho will proceed with the dismissal. Now, though, Governor Hochul has stepped back into the fray, and both Adams and Trump should be afraid. Very afraid. Take a look.
We begin with breaking news. Governor Hochul announcing tomorrow she'll convene key voices to discuss the future of Mayor Eric Adams at City Hall.
Yeah, this just into our newsroom. This comes after 4 top aides to the mayor resigned this afternoon, and there are now growing calls for him to follow suit. It's all unfolding after the DOJ last week ordered his corruption charges to be dropped.
Yeah, Grace Gomez joins us now with the latest on all of this. Grace.
Corey and Shirley, that meeting happening tomorrow in the governor's Manhattan office. In a statement released tonight, Hochul said she spoke with the first deputy mayor today, adding about the resignations, quote, if they feel unable to serve in the city hall at this time, that raises serious question about the long-term future of this mayoral administration. 4 deputy mayors resigned on Monday in the latest fallout from the Justice Department's push to put an end to Mayor Eric Adams' corruption case.
So, will Hochul move to Nick Adams' mayoral office, or will she stand aside? This is a key test for Kathy Hochul, one that will have long effects on her political legacy. If she ever seeks higher office, no doubt her handling of this case, whatever she decides to do, will come under scrutiny across the political spectrum. Already this week, 4 of Adams' aides have resigned in disgust. Today, Hochul will meet with other city leaders from New York to discuss the situation. But you know who should be most concerned with this potential removal of Adams? Donald Trump. The whole reason Trump and his Justice Department offered a quid pro quo to dismiss the corruption charges against Adams was that they hoped Adams would assist in Trump's mass deportations. If he resigns, or if Hochul removes him, public school advocate Jumae Williams will become acting mayor. She's been a very outspoken critic of Donald Trump, particularly on the immigration issue. Though she would have to hold a special election within 80 days to officially replace Adams as mayor, she could throw a major wrench into the MAGA machine in the interim. This moment represents a pivotal moment for Adams, for Kathy Hochul, and for the United States as a whole. Should Hochul let Adams continue, she will face the ire of her base and criticism for not standing up to the corruption of the Trump administration when she had the chance. Should she remove Adams, she will have to face Trump's rage, and she will also emerge as a defiant voice against the Trump administration's ongoing erosion of the rule of law. In other words, it comes down to a choice. Does Hochul want to fall silent, or does she want to lead? In this moment, when the American people cry out for real leadership that obeys the law and that works for all Americans, Kathy Hochul has an opportunity to show what real American leadership looks like. Here's hoping she makes the right choice. We'll keep you updated on this story as it develops. This is Occupy Democrats.